All right. Hello. I have Josef Schein with us today, and he's actually been a Leads Referral Network member now for a few months, but we haven't had an opportunity to officially welcome you to the group.
So busy, so busy.
Too busy.
Yes,
So thanks so much, Joseph, for spending
of
some time with me on a
course.
Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon. Just wanted to share with you about yourself, where you are, where you're from, about your business. And we're really happy to have you with us. Joseph's been leading our Los Angeles group now for a few weeks, and we've been having some really great meetings. So I'm just really, really, really so happy and thrilled that you are with us, and just want to share you with everyone else. So tell us about yourself, Joseph.
So I want to make sure that you understand that the pleasure is mine because the ability to kind of walk into something that didn't really exist to a certain extent and to be allowed to be creative without being stunted. No, Joseph, you can do that. I haven't heard that yet, and I'm not looking forward to hearing that. So, Melissa, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's been really amazing. So, as Melissa mentioned, my name is Josef Schein. I'm an event DJ and a master of ceremonies. I'm headquartered in the city of Northridge, which is in the San Fernando, which is the suburbs of Los Angeles. I've been a DJ since 1983, but really didn't turn it into a business until approximately nearly about 7 years ago. You know, like very often happens with a lot of the entrepreneurs that, join us at Leads Referral Network. Very often we become entrepreneurs by necessity, or very often, the fact that we are just, I've had it with working for the man. And,
Totally.
or, we just want to, get into a point where we want to live a dream. Well, all of those things, yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. So I actually lost my job. I have been working in logistics, transportation, shipping, receiving, handling crews of hundreds of people, and sometimes just small crews of dozens. And lost my job, and I found myself in a situation where who's going to hire someone who at that time I was nearly 50 years of age. So one of the things that I knew I knew how to do was to be a DJ. So I kind of threw myself into it. However, all those things that entrepreneurs kind of have to tackle at the beginning of their business, I had to tackle all that. So the fact that I'm leading the Los Angeles division now, it's not by accident. It's because I went through that experience. I mean, it was agonizing because I didn't have a background in it. I didn't know anything about it. And it wasn't until another DJ actually introduced me to networking. He said, look, let me introduce you to a group of people. And I kind of joined that group. Fast forward a few years, and I realized that there was both love of networking and disappointment in the way that networking is handled. So this is kind of what lands me here with that Leads Referral Network today.
Yeah. We were both a part of another networking group, and so we were able to kind of take that and build leads with what we know and what we like, what we don't like, and just kind of make it our own. So it's been really, really awesome having your input and helping this grow.
Well, like I said, the fact that you've allowed for that creativity, for that freedom to be able to say, look, this is what I think works, and here's my evidence to prove that, and what have you, and you've been really accepting of it. And of course, at the same time, some ideas just do not work, and to be able to, very comfortably have an idea, to have it turned down, but because of, righteous reasons. So I really, really appreciate that. So, working with you, so far, I mean, I'm saying it like I'm expecting something to go wrong, but I'm not expecting anything
No.
to go wrong. But for so far to it be so much fun, aside from the fact that we are, in a certain way, I mean, we are no Mother Teresa's, right? But but we are changing lives, right? We are changing lives. We are educating people by just, even if it's something as simple as just telling our story, or by allowing people to go about their business and us being the educators of how to go about certain things. And in this case, it's networking, right? But also being able to introduce people to people that they would otherwise maybe never meet, and that changes their lives. Wow.
Right, which leads me to your brilliant idea of creating Spanish groups. I have a Spanish group starting out here in Seattle next week, thanks to your brilliant idea. And I know you're working on a Spanish group too. So that, I mean, that's huge, being able to bring this to the Spanish community so they can network and they can grow their businesses as well.
Right. So, actually, we did have that a long, long time ago, obviously not with leads. But a colleague of mine in which we were networking, and we just sat down and I was helping her as a master of ceremonies to put together an event for her nonprofit organization, right? And as part of that process, it was, I felt compelled to really talk to her about introducing herself to the community, because that was one of the major issues that her nonprofit was not really achieving, was actually, if you will, doing it wrong. And that was her introduction to the community. The community did not even know that they existed. It was a brick and mortar location for people to go to. And it was really a sign that people could really just read as they drove past over, from a busy boulevard. And I said, you need to change that. You need to start, making your way on foot. You need to start going old school, flyers. You need to start going shaking hands. You need to start appearing in presentations. If the mayor shows up somewhere, you are over to the right in a photograph. If a council member is somewhere over there. So, but here's what happened. One of the things is that most of her business happened in Spanish only. Now, I happen to be fluent in Spanish, even though, my mom once told me that I make up words in Spanish because I don't know what, so I don't know if she was kidding, but it kind of touched me here. And so that was the deal. How do you reach to another segment of the community? Well, you do the same way you reach to the other segments of the community. However, the Spanish speaking community has something very, very special, is that because if English happens to be the main language spoken in the United States, then Spanish is a second language. That means they can actually be doing business in two languages and double their possibility of profits, as opposed to someone who, just speaks English and never found a way to learn a second language. And therefore they run their business in just one language, which would, might make sense because English is the language that's most spoken in the United States. But those who start with Spanish have a possibility of doubling their business. But we need to start somewhere. And whenever they're working with a community that speaks Spanish only, they're actually losing out. And that was the concept that we started with Spanish only meetings. And we're now looking forward to doing that here in Leads Referral Network. It's going to need to look a little bit different. But I think the idea is there because the potential to do business in two languages is massive. And I don't know about, the other locations for lead chapters, because obviously as lead grows and, spreads to Colorado and then, Florida, New York, Texas, what have you. But I know Colorado and Texas have big, Spanish speaking populations.
Yeah, they do.
And we definitely do here in Los Angeles. So it totally makes sense. And for you to open up one in Seattle, that means that it's viable. It makes sense. It's very prudent for people to actually be involved in that. And can you imagine later on just connecting all those chapters? Because that's what we're going to be doing in the meeting. All those chapters connecting, just amazing.
I love it. It just makes me so happy to be able to give to that community as well. And who knows, maybe down the road we have Hebrew groups and Russian groups.
and are you saying that because I happen to also speak Hebrew?
No, but I know a lot of people that speak Hebrew. A lot of friends in Los Angeles, actually, a lot of them. So
yeah,
there's no down the road we could have several
Yeah.
different groups.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why the groups cannot be handled in that way. The only thing that I would, as people are watching this interview right now, and if they're trying to maybe learn something from it, the only thing I would say is the only caution about, dealing with groups that work with other languages is cultural, because things change culturally. It doesn't change. The people don't change. People are not different. People are people, right? That we're pretty much the same as we go along. So if you're from another country, or another creed, another faith, another race, so we are all the same. The only thing that changes is culturally speaking. So to have maybe an expert running those meetings,
Yeah.
that's where it makes the total difference. Someone who's familiar with it, somebody who was raised within it, that's where the difference is made. And again, I think you and I were chatting about this before, the interview, which was about, the possibility of changing people's lives in a real meaningful way, through their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm really also looking forward to that. It's been a while, and I'm really glad that it's based on something that we tried out. It worked for the time that it worked, and now we get to bring it also to the virtual world.
Right. Yeah. Yes. I'm super excited about all of this, and I hope you get a chance to meet all the other leads. Members in the group. We're having an event out here on June 13th. If you feel like taking a flight out next weekend.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's interesting, since we are still in that mode where businesses. So for those who are watching this, you need to know that we are, still in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. So.
Are you still in phase 1 or?
We are still in phase 1. However, I'll be honest with you, everything that is happening, the businesses that are opening, the amount of people that are back on the road and everything, it doesn't feel like this is a phase 1 of a 4-phase anything. It feels like this is a phase 3 or 4.
Yeah.
From everything that I'm seeing. So there's a need for us who are, in the world of networking, there's a need for us to not ignore that. Because if people are out there and they're doing their business, our job is to educate them as if they're already out there and clients are knocking on the door. It's not a what if.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at the first couple of weeks when all this was happening, where we started realizing that we might be sequestered for quite a while. And the conversation was like, well, when I don't know when that's going to happen. Well, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's here.
Okay.
The conversation.
So you let me know when you're ready to plan an LA event. I'm dying to get out there for a visit.
Absolutely.
That warm weather. Oh, I'm craving that warm weather.
Yes.
It's like 60 here in Seattle.
Well, there's nothing wrong with 60, even though that's the time when I wear a sweater. But because there's a reason I live in California. There's a reason, and that is because I just like that heat. So I'm probably going to be that guy, the last guy to still be wearing a mask. I'll just tell people that it's a fashion thing that I'm trying to create.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm still concerned, even a year after. But that's one of the really great things about it, the way that it's Melissa, that you managed to put it all together, which is not just virtual for those who cannot get out of the house, but virtual actually allows us to connect across states, and in the future across countries. I mean, we can already do that, but we're speaking, networking wise, as far as leads referral network is concerned. And then once a month to have a real fun event, so we can all get to know each other, shake hands, enjoy some food together, maybe listen to a band, or have a comedian, and of course an educational aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to start planning all those. I got tons of ideas.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Joseph. And please reach out to Joseph if you know anyone in the Los Angeles area or, again, nationwide. If you know of anyone and want to build a group in a specific city, community, we're growing all over. So
Spanish and English.
and Spanish and English.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, have a great Sunday, Joseph.
Thank you very much,
And
Melissa. I really appreciate
we'll
your
see
time.
you
Thank you.
soon.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.